Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Red Faction franchise. And today we are covering what some consider to be the massive black sheep of the series, Red Faction 2, released only a year after the original in 2002.
By the
A
old
great year
crew.
full of stuff.
Apparently, this didn't live up to the so massive expectations set by
The
first game.
To be fair, we have,
Mission in THQ, yeah.
you have to remember, Drova, that back when it came out, okay, the FPS genre was still in its own. Oh Jesus, was it its own? Still relatively peak.
Infancy.
No, relative peak. But when this came out, I think it was also around the time the first Half-Life came out, which was the big game changer for FPSs.
Hold on, Dwibs. You didn't tell me we were playing some kind of mod for one of the WWE PS2 games.
Welcome to WWE Soviet Edition.
So, are we getting our asses back to Mars again?
No.
Damn.
No. In fact, this game's plot has barely anything to do with the last game.
So instead,
Oh,
it's
fun.
basically the Total Recall remake. Okay.
Also, one thing
Yeah.
to keep in mind.
Oh, and
so
in case you're wondering, this dialogue is part of the music for the menu screen.
Oh, really?
Also, I bring up my doubts of it being the trendsetter because let's not forget what also came out in 2001, the same year as the first Red Faction game. Halo, and that was the game that was absolutely setting the first-person market on fire, which does make me wonder.
For consoles, Jova, remember it had been predominant for PC for a decade.
And yes, unlike the last game, I'm playing the PS2 version through its PS4 re-release because I tried to record the PC version, but my laptop just couldn't handle it.
Technical difficulties.
That is one thing to keep in mind, though, is like Red Faction came out on Windows and PS2, so there was still some console market interaction.
Sure, Jova, but the point, keep in mind also stuff like Doom got a PS1 port, and Quake, for example. It's more the fact that, like we mentioned in the past, Halo and Gears were the ones that, tried to cement by streamlining the FPS genre for the console market by focusing heavily on multiplayer and, a storytelling that was trying to be different than the one of Half-Life, but still something more than just angry marine shooting at demon,
Which is ironic given how you literally are a space marine in the Halo series.
True, but
again,
that's cutting short the bigger scope of the Halo games, including for the first one. But Bungie had demonstrated back then to be good at storytelling with the Marathon series, just not exactly in a conventional way, but it's a long story that has no place here.
One more thing to point out, Halo actually did also come to PC as well, simultaneously.
Alright, something else I want to mention, unlike the last game, which at least had subtitles for the dialogue spoken in-game, this game has no subtitles whatsoever.
Yeah, I've noticed. I've been hearing some stuff in the background. Is this important?
Well,
it's basically generic evil mustachio leader giving giant big speech to people.
Yeah. I can imagine.
So, okay, Dwibs, we were talking actually about Halo. I'm curious. So you mentioned this being the black sheep of the franchise. Does this game try to trend chase and, goes different from what the first game set up?
Yeah, was this trying to be like Resistance to and chase what Call of Duty was doing at the time?
Honestly, I don't really have any idea what this game's trying to do.
Well, that's what we're here to find out.
Alright, so if I understand correctly, with this being the black sheep, I guess after this they pretty much got their heads on straight and, more or less went back to
It took them a while.
Oh,
it wasn't another game till 2009.
Also, apparently this is compatible with the PlayStation mouse. That's cute.
Yeah, but although me playing it through the PS5 in this case, I doubt it would be
Obviously, I understand.
Alright, so here we are. Here's our opening establishing cutscene.
Alright. No idea who this is,
well,
but his codename is apparently Molov.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's his codename.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
I point out not knowing what to do with this.
We're just throwing it in there.
I can see the Starship
No establishing the cutscene, nothing. We just chucked in.
I can see the Starship Trooper influence in this.
The reason I point out not knowing who he is to is, like Dwibs mentioned, he is obviously not the character from the first one, which does lead to an immediate disconnect with the first one, since we're not on Mars, we're clearly on Earth, which, okay, I guess to be fair, the first Red Faction did suggest that the war was happening even beyond Mars.
Yeah, and having a big rebellion, it would make sense to have, you know, potentially controlling different people, you know, around.
It's not a, like, it's not a condemnation, but it is a bit eyebrow-raising that, you know, we don't even start with the protagonist from that. But granted, maybe he just retired, or maybe he's someone we'll meet later in a far-off, secluded location on top of an ice mountain.
So what you have to basically, to do your objectives, you just, well, press whatever button you've mapped it to. In my case, it's the down arrow button. And in case you're wondering, yes, that is Jason Statham.
Yeah, around this time it was also the place where, you know, games, particularly shooters, were starting to veer off from having, let's see who we have in the office today to voice act, you know, and started to have enough of a budget to hire some extra celebrities here and there. I was mentioning to Dwibs of commentary, but apparently somehow id Software, and I think that back then, like Activision, no, it wasn't id Software, but also Raven, managed to get for Quake 4 Peter Stormare, of all people.
Remind me, did they actually get Jason Statham in the Italian Stunt Job video game?
What?
Italian Job.
Yes, the Italian Job.
I didn't even knew it had a video game adaptation.
Yes, it did.
Also, Lance Henriksen's also in the game.
Oh. Okay,
I
well,
get it because sci-fi product, we gotta need less Lance Henriksen in it.
Although initially, when they did the demo for E3, neither Henriksen nor Statham were in the E3 demo. Molov, Henriksen's character, was played by a guy named Paul Goodman, and Shrike, who Jason Statham voices, was voiced by Jason Harris. Why they replaced them with, so I can only assume that they got Henriksen and Statham like late into development.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Again, the old THQ at this point had enough, you know, possibly of a presence in the market, possibly to afford celebrities like that.
Also, yeah, this game has, unlike the last game, it has gore.
So is it R-rated, I suppose?
Well, in this case, it would be M. Yeah, it would be M for America and 16 for us.
Also, I don't know if you noticed, but next to the new health bar, a red star flashed. Basically, this game has a morality system that determines what ending you get.
Oh no!
Oh wow! I just know what kind of ending you would have gotten in the last one.
I said no. Leave me alone.
Also, this is one of those newfangled fancy FPSs, which means that the ammo counter is, you know, plastered onto the weapon, because, you know, Quake popularized it, if I recall correctly.
I can already guess what ending Dwibs is gonna go for.
Yeah.
You know me so well.
So, okay, you mentioned that this is the black sheep, but is that how the fan base feel in general, or was that basically the critical reception in regards to it?
Critical reception was more mixed to positive. Fan reaction, from what I've seen, it's basically boils down to a boring, near non-existent story with gunplay that's really boring, and they even watered down Red Faction's main gimmick of being able to blow up all the destructibility. Now it's very situational.
I can already see that.
It only happens when the game wants you to do it.
Great. Streamlining it to scripted elements.
Ah, goody. Well, okay, I will say, that aside, the game doesn't seem too bad. Like, it does seem like they've improved some of the production values.
I can see the enemy AI sucks more than in the first game, though. Like, the enemies are just standing around getting riddled with bullets.
And also, despite the fact that they're human beings, and that I'm playing on easy mode, these humans take a lot more damage than the humans in the last game. And, And they don't even recoil or anything when you hit them.
I assume that's to compensate for the lousy AI.
Possible.
Yeah, because that's great challenge, and also a great way to make the game fun. Make lazy AI, but make them a sponge.
Well, yeah, didn't you learn anything from the shooting sections of the Premonition? Those were the best parts, right?
But yeah, no, I mean, what Dwibs is describing does sound like a classic downgraded sequel. Technically better production values, but something that's trying to go for such a cinematic route that it streamlines stuff, makes stuff less interactable.
I find it hilarious that one of your first objective in the very first mission is what instead the Resistance games would consider normal in the final boss.
Also, I gotta love how the animations of the enemies being
okay, and
dying.
now we skip to
2 years
what?
later.
Okay. We didn't even
because
see him
nothing interesting
escaping.
happened then.
Brought to Earth.
Was that just their excuse for a tutorial? Like, you don't need to have a time skip for a tutorial, guys.
We were volunteers, eager to serve as Chancellor Sopot's secret weapon, an army of super soldiers.
I'm gonna give this game the benefit of the doubt and assume that this was the conflict going on in the first game, because otherwise...
It was that statue for Nimona.
Wow, this is a broad time skip. This imagery, it's feeling a lot like the beginning of Sonic Forces.
I'm guessing those guys are going to be boss fights working for not Stalin.
None of this is fun, Pedro. That's why it's called war.
I guess so.
Also, wait, Boar. Wow, that's a great way to sum up my feelings on this game.
All of these FPS do not have a lot of imaginative names for their enemy factions. Again, Quake made a point to have the enemy, military shooters being called the Strog, or Strog. Is that phrase?
Yeah, that was Jason Statham's character.
That's Jason Statham's character? I mean, granted, I know voice acting, so the character doesn't need to, match the actor.
This was just a case where, the voice was important to attach to the character, not having the character being an insuit for the actor.
So I guess this is our cast of lovable characters.
The squad leader.
Right.
He is Alias.
I'm assuming
our main character is called Alias.
I'm gonna take a wild guess and that we can put the word lovable in quotations.
Surely there will be characters that will be remembered for decades and eons upon end
in case you're wondering why that
history.
Sopot is broadcasting from the studios upstairs. We kill him and get out fast.
I think I hear them. Yes, sir. We've got them tracked. You! Inside! Come out with your hands up!
Looks like we're expected.
Okay.
Alright, so next mission we just have to kill the Chancellor who we were working for in the last mission.
Oh my god, that guy in the military general in the background, the hologram looks like Saddam Hussein.
So let me just get this straight. We were working for this guy in the opening, but now we're against this guy.
2 years later, because
it was a statue.
He's evil.
I'm sure that cutscene maybe explained it, but the underwater audio made it incomprehensible. But
basically, it's I can sum it up for you easily. The Chancellor is evil. Here are your bland characters. Go.
Yeah, basically. I also find it interesting how whenever you kill the enemies with a gun, their death animations feel like they came straight out of 007 GoldenEye. You know, a game that came out a generation ago at the time that this game came out.
Yeah, 5 years. Now I could go up the lift and take part in the shooting section, but instead I'm going to go up this ladder.
Actually,
skip the whole thing. Whatever. So I can use to skip the whole thing.
In fact, the character models in this game don't really look that much better than GoldenEye's character model.
This was 2001, so technically speaking...
2002.
Sorry, 2002, so still in the early years of a PS2, I suppose.
I mean, but look at Jak and Daxter. That game has excellent animation.
Yeah, it was also developed by a studio that was working closely with the console manufacturer.
Yeah, like, to be fair, when it comes to Naughty Dog games, they always had the benefits of
I guess another comparison would be to a third-party title, like, say, the first Devil May Cry, or...
MGS2?
MGS2, but those have far more budget, production value, you know, and more competent people behind them. You can tell that,
So this
again,
is-
like I said, the OTHQ had a presence at the point, but not as much as other third-party companies.
So that was Tangier. She's voiced by Cricket Lee, who is mainly known for voicing Mayan Avatar, and some other games. Also, she was also in Red Faction Gorilla as additional voices. So
imagine your parents calling you Cricket. What was their thought process?
Were they fans of? No. They couldn't
Old
have been Always
country,
Sunny.
my beast.
They couldn't have been fans of Always Sunny because that show wasn't out yet.
Maybe they're fans of, you know, Disney's Pinocchio. How do I know? I don't know.
yeah, like
Well,
I said, these enemies are pretty sponges.
Well, hey, you know, she got to voice Mayan Avatar, so that's cool.
I can see, however, that, you know, the easy difficulty in this case means it, because one thing that was very consistent for FPSs at the time, that even on easier skills, the enemy will deal you a lot of damage. Well, in this, it seems that they're respecting a bit the difficulty level that they're having.
I see.
Alright, what's in here?
So, okay, granted, maybe I shouldn't be too early to judge. Maybe
Dwibs, no, god damn it!
Really?
Well, did you guys expect anything different?
No,
You
but I
guys
was
do
just
remember the last
expecting-
game, right?
Honestly, Dwibs, if you weren't restricted from it, you'd probably shoot your own teammates just to see what happens.
For a sick epic grift.
They're planned anyway. No one can listen.
But okay. To be fair, maybe the game gets better with the characters, and I'll be fair, yes. Earlier time of storytelling.
Well,
If I compare it to the likes of Metal Gear, though, I'm sorry. Metal Gear did a better job of, you know, introducing the characters, actually.
Yeah, and also Metal Gear Solid 2, since it's on the same system, it looks a lot better than this, and it came out a year earlier.
Okay, let me put what Theo said earlier about that budget and better developers there. But even then, like you don't even have to bring up Metal Gear Solid. Look at something like there's plenty of. It's not even a matter of telling. Like you can take a look at something like the first Halo, right? The first Halo, which came out also a year before this. That game also. While by no means great storytelling wise, it's still at the very least bothers to basically introduce the setting competently and what you're doing, who you are.
Like I
So
said,
this is Quill.
like I said,
She's a
yes.
character.
She looks like Marrow from X-Men.
Huh.
Also, Pedro, I already mentioned, you know, 1 year before this. So
Oh my god.
The first Half-Life, there's that too.
Yeah. Is that how the auto-saving works? It just pauses the game for like 5 seconds?
Okay,
Yeah, but
I
also
remember a lot
loading
of
the
games
next
doing.
section.
I remember a couple of games doing that at the time, you know,
Jesus
during this
Christ.
time period.
You can tell this was before the art of masking loading was...
Also, honestly, Jova, like as showcasing from recordings that I did in the past, like Prince of Persia, you know, the Forgotten Sands HD, you know, all those saves even on the PS3 era still had this kind of problem of freezing every time it happened.
I'm
Like
not
Beyond
too
Two Souls.
bugged by it. Like, you know, I get it. It's a product of its time, but I can get how it would be jarring. Especially to somebody who's used to modern games.
Honestly,
So I want to bring up actually in this
blue
bit.
screen.
Also, yeah, there's a voice you're hearing in the background. That's a reporter hiding in that room there while you're shooting up everything, giving a report to the viewers.
Well, now it's
So-
gone, I guess.
I guess
So
not
what-
anymore.
No, he's in that room. No, not the one I just blew up. Another one.
Okay.
So
That one.
let me guess. Basically, the morality system is based off of how many innocents you shoot.
Pretty much, and also how many objectives you carry out.
So is it like anyone who's not shooting at you is considered an innocent?
Yeah.
So don't hit them.
There we are.
While killing thousands
Found him.
of their fellow soldiers.
But sorry, you don't understand. This is a loose cannon. You don't understand.
Yeah, I guess he cannot anymore.
I love how the guy was still giving his broadcast even while you
Dwibs,
had a gun
when,
right at his
when
head.
the 80s version of Shredder has more humanity than you, that you should reconsider stuff.
Damn.
Again, he's a reporter doing propaganda.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Too. I think the 2003 Shredder would serve your analogy better.
Well, I remember the analogy because, I remember that one gag that gets brought up when Shredder invades the television studio and does a stupid pun with the camera.
All right. I've always wanted. No, he throws the camera at them and it's like, lights, camera, action. I've always wanted to say that.
No. So, in regards to morality, is it like the more innocent you shoot, the badder you are, and like there's no way to reverse that, or are there ways to like thread the needle between which way you're leaning to?
Well, basically, if you carry out any additional objectives, like bonus ones, the game does give you green stars, which basically means you're going more in favor of the good endings. And you just saw in the pause menu there before we end, that's your heroics meter, basically telling you how much you're gonna get the good ending and how much you're gonna get the bad ending.
All right, then.
All right, so join us in the next part where we hear more of Jason Statham. That's probably the most interesting this game gets.
Yeah.
See ya.
Yeah.
See ya.